Just in case you missed a vlog, yesterday we wired up the stable here and we added power for 3 machines. These 2 and that black one over there, the table saw. When I went to plug them in and sort of show off my handiwork, 2 out of the 3 didn't work. And it's been bugging me, it's eating away at me. Today, I'm gonna do some testing on the socket and on the machines, hopefully troubleshoot these things and see if we can figure out what went wrong. All right, this is a testing device that real electricians use, in addition to people like me. I don't know if it has a name other than Wiggy, but that's what I call it. My brother actually bought it for me. He's a real electrician, and he's like, look, I need to get you this thing so that when I help you, you have proper tools and like, he was having a hard time troubleshooting over the phone because my stuff sucked. I think this was a Christmas present. Anyway, if you get this socket, do you see how this one has kind of an L in it? If I recall correctly, that one's supposed to be ground. So when I test this, if this goes well, putting these things in here should give me 240. And it did. And then I should get 120 here, yes, and 120 like this. Come on, baby. I think I'm gonna get it. I'm just having a hard time. There, come on!
This is an arm workout.
I'm having a hard time sticking these in properly. There we go, see? Okay, that tells me I think the socket is fine. Okay, so if you could get this one, you guys probably don't know where you are. Hope, can you get the machine I'm standing on too? This is the machine that worked yesterday. So come on up again. We're gonna treat it as the answer key since it works. And I haven't done this testing off camera. There,
Oh my goodness.
240 out of the 2 straight ones. And again, if I go to the straight and the ground, 120, and the other one, come on, contact, baby. There we go, 120. Yes, she nodded at me. So on me.
I wasn't actually paying attention.
I don't know why I had any trouble. It looks like I didn't make a mistake on either, like any of these sockets. I haven't checked the table saw one, but I expect to find the same. I don't know, let's keep troubleshooting. I'm not sure if you guys will be able to hear this, but Hope is like, there's wasps living in there, and I thought she was crazy. And she's like, look, and then a wasp flies in there, some sort of angry looking, like, kill you wasp. So I tapped it. Can you hear this? Something in there is pissed off. Concerning. So I've done a little more troubleshooting. It's my tendency to like take responsibility for anything that's going wrong, to say like, well, probably I screwed it up. The evidence isn't lining up that way. I'll show you. So there's my little tester thing. I don't know if you can tell, green lights on. These things are like $8 at Home Depot and they're fantastic. On a side note, I usually use it for safety. Like I make sure that I got the right breaker. That'd be the typical use for it. But today I'm using it for diagnosing stuff. This is the extension cord coming from the ceiling. There's power in it. Then we go through this plug, which I thought could be a point of failure. But if you get to the other side of the plug, we have power. So that's not the problem. Then we come in here inside the machine. As expected, we kind of just tested this wire. There's power. No power. All right, that's also to be expected. I'll turn it on. And now there's power. So there's power making it all the way into the motor, as you'd expect. There's something wrong with this machine, perhaps. So I've been doing a little more troubleshooting. I took this plate off the motor, and here, I'll help you zoom. So it can be wired for 115 and 230, or 120 and 240 or whatever you call it. I thought maybe it's possible that I didn't. She said, was she pointing it at me? Maybe it's possible that I had it wired for like 110 and didn't remember it right, but that's not the case. I checked the wiring down here, and it's definitely, if you can point to my hand here, it's definitely wired.
Frame.
Oh, was it? Oh, my
was.
bad. It's only wired for 220. So everything is done right. The motor's just bad. I don't know if it was because it sat in the... I don't know. But it seems like the wiring's right at the socket. The switch is working. Power's getting to the right wires down here on the motor. And it's still not working. I don't know. Maybe I take the motor off and send it to someone who knows how to fix them. I think Kyle's fixed a lot of these. Maybe I'll tap into his brain. I'm not sure what the scoop is. But for right now, I'm going to reassemble because all the wiring is right. Beyond that, let's look at another machine. So I was reassembling this machine. And as I'm sitting here working on that plate, I discovered that. Do you see that bottle of nastiness? So to demonstrate that they were old and nothing to fear, I started poking it with a screwdriver. And that's when the bugs flew out. We have problems. All right, we're gonna do some problem solving.
Oh no.
I guess it's okay now? Yeah. So we sprayed it, and 3 spiders came out of there's like wasps and spiders in there. I don't know if that machine is more unsafe because of the spinning blades or the bugs. Okay, so I popped the cover off the back of the saw stop. This is my cabinet saw. And there is a problem here. If you can see, it looks like maybe this cord was pulled somewhat. And the ground, which would go in here, is disconnected. It's hanging loose in there. So I'm going to try and fix that. All right. As I was fixing this guy and this guy both came out of their, I don't know what that attachment is called, little grommet thing there. So I ended up fixing all 3 of the wires coming from here, the 2 hots and the ground. And with these put in nicely, the next thing I did was test it. So this table saw is incredibly badass. It's booting up right now. Like my table saw has a computer in it. And when it's solid green like this, it's ready to run. Now if I touch the blade, try to get the blade in the lights and both in the shot. If I touch the blade, it'll sense that the blade is being touched. What it does is if you touch the blade while it's spinning, it shoves this aluminum thing into it, makes the blade stop spinning. You barely get a nick on your hand. But for right now, I have a table saw again. If you're curious about the mechanism, this aluminum piece right here, let me get this as a pointing device. This guy right here, it will shove into the blade. The blade, being pointy and cutty and stuff, will drive into that aluminum, and the motion of the blade spinning around will cause it to slam under the surface here. So it's partly that the blade stops, and it's partly that the blade, retreats underneath it. I wish I could demonstrate it to you, and maybe someday I will, but this aluminum cartridge, I forget how much they cost, but something like 80 bucks. And this blade is like $110. So when it happens, it's a $200 mistake, but in comparison to losing a finger, that's a bargain. When I got this, I was a computer programmer, and I was doing it all the time, and some of the more senior woodworkers that I had in my circle of friends and online friends were missing fingers, and it was like, man, I type for a living. So I invested in this. And in addition to being a safer saw, it's a really good saw. I need to take care of the rest, but that's all coming. So, to my surprise, it doesn't look like the wiring I did yesterday was bad at all. Instead, maybe these machines just got bumped around a little bit in transit, and I've got to sort this out. So I'm a little bummed about the joiner, but the truth is I kind of secretly wanted to upgrade that machine, so this might be the excuse I need. We'll see how it works out. The other thing is, I'm putting a new helmet together for my paramotor. I don't like the current one. It goes real low and I can't see my wing. And I think the last part I need is in the mailbox. So that's where we're headed now. All right, the return address says motor helmets. That's a good sign. All right, and now for a touch of unboxing. This I expect to be my new helmet. It's kind of like military style helmet, except I got it in red because I don't like to be like one of those false valor guys. But this will be the basis of my next helmet.
It's funny because for Pokemon Go, red is valor, so you're not one of those like false valor guys.
Oh, and I meant to say stolen valor. That's the term I was trying to think of. But the people who like pretend to be military and really aren't. I'm really not, but I don't pretend. Anyway, this is the Sena Bluetooth audio pack. It's like a backpack. It fits onto your GoPro, and via Bluetooth, when you talk into your mic, it will record it on the GoPro's audio. So now while I fly, I'll be able to like share my experiences and stuff like that. If the audio sucks, the first video, work with me, because it takes a little bit to dial it in. It's a complicated audio problem with the wind noise and the propeller noise and like all the noises and such. This guy is challenging to open and being outsmarted by a box. There we go. And this is like Bluetooth enabled hearing protection. So this will go onto the helmet. Oh, this isn't what I intended to show you. Ah.
Didn't intend to show that you can't open packages.
This package is stronger than any human. It's not my fault. But this is a GoPro mount. Part of the reason I thought that this helmet was cool was that it has a GoPro mount. I think I'm putting it in backwards. I'll have to sort it out, but my GoPro should clip into the helmet. So for things you want to... All right, let's hope that works better after a little practice. And the one thing that I thought I had but don't seem to are the mounts to the side of the helmet. I intend to take off this head strap and this rail. I think it's called an ACR rail. I need to look into that. You can put a helmet mount in it, or I'm sorry, an earphone mount in it, and then your headset attaches to the helmet instead of the strap on top. But I thought that came in the mail and it didn't seem to. So I guess I have to sort that out. And then I really don't know what's in this. Oh, this is probably for recharging. There. So this probably plugs into this somewhere and you charge it up and do your thing. Probably right there. Ooh, and there's another input output. I got ideas. So anyway, this is most of my new helmet setup, except that I don't seem to have the clips for the side of this. I'll look around because I thought I saw they were delivered. There's one more thing that's more exciting than it looks. This is kite string.
Ooh.
Right? So what I'm gonna do is hang, it looks almost like an arrow would be the best description of it. Picture an arrow being suspended from the wing behind me. So you can get that kind of over the shoulder hero shot And you can see like me and then what's in front of me. And I'm gonna play around with that and a GoPro on my helmet and maybe put some things together, but I'm messing around with more interesting videography than just the helmet shot alone, because I feel like you're missing out on, you know, like the subject, right, which is the pilot, when it's just on the helmet. So on the other hand, give me a little minute to work up to this. One, it hasn't arrived yet, and two, every time you add a new piece of equipment, you know, now I've got something dangling from the wing. I didn't expect the other helmet cam to get in the way, but then when I try to start it, I have like issues. I have to start it with a handicap. So as a new pilot, I only want to throw too much like complications on myself. I don't want to throw too many complications on myself. So, but the twine is here. The little arrow thing's not even here yet, but I will eventually be getting very cool over the shoulder. I think it's called a hero shot, and it'll add a pretty neat perspective to future paramotor videos. I'm betting that this thing is the missing piece of the puzzle. It is! Woo! Nice. So, what I have here, these little clips were like 70 bucks. It's outrageous. But I'm hoping, yeah. Can you zoom in on this? It kind of gives you a vibe for where it's going to be. This will clip onto the side of the helmet, kind of that. And we'll just disassemble the headset somewhat, clamp it under there, and I should have a helmet with a headset built into it. Unless I'm mistaken, I bought the wrong thing. I think that this is meant to work with an existing helmet-mounted headset, and that the front part of this I'm supposed to have already. I need a more complete adapter and not this thing. I think I'm gonna end up returning it. Disappointing. So plan A was to go to the movies tonight. I was gonna take Hope, we were gonna see Star Trek. I thought it'd be cool, be fun to do, and a little something to talk about on video. Hope wasn't having that. She's kind of exhausted, needed a break. Fine. Hope agrees to watch Colin. I'm gonna take Jackie to the movies. I'm snapping for no reason. Jackie's tired, doesn't really want to go to the movies anyway. What? Come on, it's Star Trek. This has been great since the reboot. But nobody's down. I will eventually get to see this movie. But for now, this is the end of the video. Click like, subscribe, do the stuff YouTubers like.
Yeah, multi-million-dollar deals got $1 million deal. When I was younger, I would wonder how $1 million feel. And for real, it feel like I ain't even broke a seal. Cause when you drop hits, they want you to pick up the bill. Now my life is in Maryland, my heart is in Chicago. New York state of mind, but out LA, man, that's where I go. When I need to lay this shit down. So much on my mind, that's the reason I'm spitting now. Finally running the game and everybody tripping now. But I could give it